That's it. That's it.
Oh, I got it right here. JRTC inspection. Annual inspection.
She didn't respond. She said she was right. If she
Yeah, they got directions on it. But I was gonna put it in my GPS. I can follow the directions. Yeah, but I'm leaving early enough. Yeah. Yeah, I ain't thinking it over tonight. Yeah, you took my interview.
They feel like they
You try to take mine.
She had been through all this crap. She had been through.
Worded. Welcome. I'd like to call to order the February 16th, 2016 regular called board meeting, Fairfield County School District Board of Trustees. There has been an appropriate public notification. Ms. Brown, yes, thank you, and the confirmation of a quorum. Paul Hartman absent at this point tonight. I will entertain a motion to enter executive session, which will adjourn no later than 6:30. And we appreciate your attendance and your patience while we do our due diligence in adhering to our agenda. Entertain that motion.
Madam Chair, make a motion we go into executive session regarding personnel matter. Do we have legal?
Yes.
Personnel and legal matter.
Second that, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Fred and Mr. Miller. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We'll enter into executive session and return no later than 6:30. entertain a motion to exit executive session during which there was no action taken.
Madam Chair, make a motion to exit executive session.
Second it, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Frick. Mr. Miller, those in favor of exiting executive session, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Again, welcome to the February 16, 2016 regular call board meeting, Fairfield County School District Board of Trustees. We appreciate the audience tonight and look forward to the recognitions that you've come for. We'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
While we're standing, if you remain standing for a moment of silence and reflection. Thank you.
Well, she said we was gonna call her. She asked for the number just a minute ago from text. She did.
Move to the approval of the agenda.
Madam Chair, make a motion we approve the agenda.
I second.
Thank you, Mr. Frick. Thank you, Ms. Harrison. Those in favor of the agenda as presented, signify by raising your right hand. 6-0, and we'll move to public comment.
Madam Chair, I've received no public comment for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Frick. We'll move on to presentations and recognitions.
Madam Chair, members of the board, as you can see, we have a packed house here tonight. Really one of the most enjoyable times for me as superintendent. We get to recognize the outstanding work of our young people. And first of all, we get an opportunity to recognize all of the students who traveled down to the Junior Beta Club convention a couple of weeks ago. I can say that Fairfield County was represented in fine fashion. And so we had students from virtually every school to qualify in one or more of the competition. So I'm not quite sure what the order is, but I think principals are going to come down so they can make some remarks as it relates to their respective schools. And so why don't we go ahead and start with Kelly Miller Elementary School. So we're good that you come forward.
Madam Chair, Superintendent Green, board members, and the community. We are extremely proud of all of our students. And we wish that all of them had placed because we took quality to beta. And I thank my parents, I thank our sponsors, and I want to give them a shout out before I begin. Because without them, it's not me. It is them, and without them, it could not happen at Kelly Miller. So I want to recognize our sponsors. Ms. Robin Gaither, she's here with us this afternoon, and she spearheaded all of this work. Ms. Deborah Kauser, Ms. Robin Shirley, Mr. Brian Simmons, Mr. Vernon Huggins, and a host of other teachers, faculty, and staff who just put in time with our students. That is so important. So without...
Can we have them stand, the ones that are here that she just named?
Ms. Gaither, would you please stand? Truly committed to excellence. So without further ado, I'd like to recognize our awesome students at Kelly Miller. For arts and crafts, third place for her wreath, Miss Natalie Jackson. For technology, third place, where Kelly Miller was highlighted in a video. We have Anaya Armstrong. Dejana Burton. DeAndre Cook. Abaya Fee. Jaden Gardner. Tyler Isaac. Natalie Jackson is also a part of this group as well. Tatiana Kennedy. Tevin McDaniel. Kirsten Paget. Devin Seville. And Derek Suber. We also had our top 5 finalists for group talent, our drumline, and they were awesome.
Okay, let's get this picture.
Okay, let's get this.
Yeah, let's get this picture here right here. Awesome. Let's give it a round.
And with our top 5 finalists, our drum line, we had Jalen Davis, Jaden Gardner, Jemiah Goins, Michelle Herring, Tatiana Kennedy, Kevin McDaniel, and Derek Suber. And some of these students were in several things. They are very talented children.
Did she get a second list since she was called twice?
I think just one.
Oh.
All right, so thank you all so much for recognizing our children this evening.
All right, thank you. Next, we could have Dr. Hardy to recognize the students from Fairfield Middle School.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Following suit with Ms. Woodard, I too wanted to thank the sponsors and coaches who made our Quiz Bowl Junior Beta Club convention winners possible. They are here this evening, so I want to call them forward to get this certificate of recognition. Lisa Ellis, our instructional facilitator and co-sponsor for Beta Club. Michael Glover, teacher leader and Beta Club convention chaperone and sponsor. Terrence Harris, our 8th grade assistant principal and Beta Club convention sponsor and chaperone. Kenyatta McLeod, 7th grade assistant principal and Beta Club sponsor and chaperone. And last but not least, Dr. Laura Robertson, who is our academic challenge team coach, who made the Quiz Bowl team competition possible. All right, now for our students. Ladies first, Devani Patel. Nathaniel Adams. Daniel Childers. And Sheldon Johnson. These are our second grade Thank you. And New Orleans, June 23rd through 26th. New Orleans, Louisiana, June 23rd through the 26th is the national competition.
They gonna take me with them? Can I go? Yeah. Wrong way.
Thank you.
Dr. Green.
Yes.
Some of the parents, one of the parents asked me, say, well, when they go to New Orleans, learning preparations, so they can go?
We might do that, Don. I mean, we talking about taking a bus. We might take half a Winsboro up there. I don't know.
All right, Mr. Patel back there. All right.
Yeah. Ms. Bramlett, if you come forward and recognize the students from Giddy Elementary.
Good evening. I want to echo the sentiments of all the other principals. It truly takes teamwork to make sure that we get everything done for Beta Club. I'm very, very proud to say for the last 4 years that we brought home some type of top 3 award, and that's just a true testament to our hardworking staff as well as our students. So I just want to give them a round of applause. This year, the award was very unique and very special. We actually placed 3rd in Spotlight Your Club, and one of the great things about that is that spotlights your whole entire club and all of the community service and projects that we've done. So I truly wanted to bring the whole Beta Club, but I'm complete outfit. So I'm just going to go ahead and recognize the students who actually kind of worked together to put the board together. I'm kind of looking around the room, I don't see very many of them. So, but the students that put the board together were Miss Ariana Sampson, also Miss Mackenzie Harris, Miss Janiyah Holmes, and Miss Samira Thomas. Now, you know at our school we actually have a lot of pageant practice and they have recreation and basketball, so I'm hoping that's where some of them are tonight. But yet again, as I said, it truly takes teamwork, and I really thank all of my staff as well for working hard. So thank you.
All right, thank you. If we could have Ms. Whitfield to recognize the students from Fairfield Magnet School for Math and Science.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I would like to thank the board and Dr. Green for your support, because without you all helping us, we would not have been able to take 43 students from the magnet school down to the Junior Beta Club this year. So if you'll join me in giving them a round of applause for thanking them for such a great job. We really needed that money to help us to get there. I have 2 wonderful young ladies who did a fantastic job with their artwork. They won 2nd place, and I want to recognize them. The first person is Erica Kelly. She's a 6th grader. She won 2nd place with her pastel color pencil art of a bobcat. And Sarah Pullen, 6th grade student as well, won 2nd place winner for her watercolor art of a horse. My sponsors, who are my 6th grade teachers and 5th grade teachers, along with the 4th grade who did get an opportunity to go, they have something to look forward to next year. They did a fantastic job, and they made sure that our children were well represented down at the Junior Beta Club.
If we can have Dr. Bell come forward and recognize the students on the floor list from the School of Technology.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, community, and for most part, I want to just recognize the home of the soaring eagles, where our eagles aim high, fly high, and achieve high. We soar above all expectations. And therefore, today I'm so proud to say that we did that this year. Last year was my very first time in my 9 years to have an opportunity to go to the Beta Club convention. And I said to Ms. Miller and to Ms. Howard last year, my sponsors, you know what, it's going to take that teamwork, Ms. Bramlett, for all of us. And because we're a small community school, I want to say to the entire staff, publicly, for working with our students. They came and they brought it. And so I'm here today to recognize those students. But I want to personally recognize my two sponsors, and I want to present them with my Golden Eagle Awards. And these two sponsors are just outstanding. They do anything and everything for our students. They make sure that they are soaring, and they put forth their best effort. And the first person is our 6th grade team leader, Miss Marissa Howard. Will you please come forward to receive your certificate?
You can bring your baby to.
And Miss Leisha Miller, my right hand, and she's also an outstanding staff member who does everything that she can. Thank you so much, ladies. And now for our students. This year we had 2 third-place winners for our Arts and Craft division. Our first student was Ryan Crumpton for his watercolor of Maya Angelou. Can you please come up, Ryan?
Gotta get this picture right here, Jackie, right here. Try that boy. Special picture right there, man. Yeah. See, wear a bow tie, get an extra picture.
We had another third-place winner, Jalen Robinson, for his rendition of a pencil sketch of B.B. King. We have two first-place awards for our students, and these are club awards, so all of our students will be recognized at this time. When we call your name, please come up to receive your awards. We have Waylon Estep. I'm not sure if he's here. Okay. Montravius White, Spotlight Your Club, first place. Destiny Candace, not here, first place, Spotlight Your Club. Morgan Ginyard, first place, Spotlight Your Club. Kennedy Bates, banner, first place. Deasia Feaster, banner, first place. Victoria Pete, banner, first place. Carlisha Workman, banner, first place. Sheldon Free, banner, first place. Tracy Garrett, Spotlight Your Club, first place. Mary Trapp, banner, first place. Kelton Mobley, banner, first place. Adrian Jackson, Spotlight Your Club, first place. And Ryan and Jalen Robinson also participated, and they also will be recognized again. Let's give all of our students a round of applause. And Board of Trustees want to say thank you again, and we too will be traveling to New Orleans.
All right.
And Dr. Creek, can we recognize our parents? The core list of parents, will you please stand? Let's give our parents a round of applause. Thank you so much.
And if I could have Dr. Martin to come forward, she has some outstanding science projects that she'd like to recognize from her science fair.
Board Chairman, Board of Trustees, Dr. Green. We also traveled to the Beta Club, and you know, we were a little behind. We just had our Beta Club to start about 3 years ago. And this was the first year that we did compete. We didn't bring anything home, but I promise you our kids performed very well. And Mr. Brown is our sponsor for our Junior Beta Club, and we thank him for working with our students. At this time, we want to recognize our science fair winners. I want to recognize our sponsors here. We have Ms. Clark. Would you please stand? Ms. Clark and Ms. Seal. Did she make it? But anyway, this is the first year that we have prepared our students for the regional science fair. They'll be traveling down to USC next month, and we hope to bring home some awards. But we want to recognize our winners. Our first place winner is Ms. Amaya Brannon. Project on Who's Your Daddy, distracting onion DNA by the strand, and she did a great job. Wow. Second place, we have Tajori Jeter. Tajori, come forward. And his project was on skunk attack. He created the scent of a skunk. Real science, good job. And our third place winner is John Green. Please come forward. He did Bigfoot Energy Hopper. And last but certainly not least, we have Ms. Kayla Jones, who did Take a Trip to Fizzland. Ms. Kayla Jones, fourth place. And these are all of our science fair winners. We're very proud of them, and let's give them all a round of applause. And lastly, we have a student that is here who, and Ms. Floyd Fanning. Are you here, Ms. Fanning? She was here. But anyway, this student, Shamal Siebels is one of our students. He's a 4th grade student at Fairfield Elementary School, and he went down to the South Carolina Commission for the Blind in Columbia, and he competed in the South Carolina Regional Braille Challenge, and he brought home 2nd place out of the whole state. And we're very proud of him. So thank you all for allowing us to recognize our students.
All right, now you're out. Good round of applause.
Thank you all to all of the principals, the schools, the support, the staff and parents who made all this possible. It's a wonderful night when we can recognize that many students. Moving forward, we would like at this time to recognize our board member, Ms. Andrea Harrison, whom we lost in November. She had been a cherished member of this board, and during her homegoing services at Fairfield Central High School, Ms. McDaniel represented the board in sending the proclamation, reading it, and having some remarks. So I've asked her to do that again tonight, and members of Ms. Harrison's family are here. We appreciate that. Ms. McDaniel.
With the members of the family. While she's coming, just want to state that we have 2 resolutions. We have the one that came from the superintendent on behalf of the district, and we also have one that Ms. Harrison was a very active member of the South Carolina Caucus of Black School Board Members, and they also submitted a resolution, and will be also sending her a financial donation. So I'm going to read the one that was read during the time of the services. I'm telling you, this is so ironic because I was trying to call Ms. Dean earlier, and ended up dialing Miss Harrison's number. And when she answered the phone, I was like, oh my God. So, you know, divine intervention, and we know she's in heaven continuously watching over us. And as I got to know her, she and I grew to be very, very close, and she's just a phenomenal young lady and just experienced things that I know there's no way in the world I could have experienced. But God didn't put no more on us than we can bear. And she was a true warrior for God in her life here on earth. But the resolution of expression reads, the employees of Fairfield County School District and the Board of Trustees wish to express gratitude and respect for a virtuous woman, Andrea Teresa Harrison. Whereas Ms. Harrison faithfully served as a member of the school board for 5 years, whereas Ms. Andrea Harrison placed service above self and was a true steward of education. Whereas Ms. Andrea Harrison worked meticulously to achieve the goals of the district. Whereas Ms. Andrea Harrison served the district with dedication and devotion. Her deeds displayed commitment in the personal and academic development of the children of Fairfield County. Whereas Fairfield County School District will continue the great work of Ms. Andrea Harrison, and now, therefore, be it resolved that in the loss of your respected and departed friend, Ms. Andrea Harrison, the Fairfield County School District has suffered the loss of an irreplaceable friend, and be it further resolved that Ms. Andrea Harrison's death has created a void in this community. Finally, be it resolved by Fairfield County School District that Superintendent of Schools Dr. Gerald Green presents the resolution of expression to the family of Ms. Andrea Harrison. And that one we've already given her, so we're just reading it for your listening. The second one comes from the South Carolina Caucus of Black School Board Members. It's to the family of Ms. Andrea Teresa Harrison. And I give unto thee eternal life. John 10th chapter 28th verse. Whereas on November 18, 2015, God called Andrea from our midst. Whereas she was a cheerful worker and dedicated member of the Fairfield County School District Board of Trustees, who was known for her friendly smile, which exemplified the fact that her life lived up to that smile through her service to the community. Whereas she always put children first and served as a mentor to them. And whereas she served the district with dedication and devotion. Therefore, be it resolved that we strive to emulate her beautiful life of service in every respect, and extend to the family our heartfelt sympathy. Respectfully submitted, the South Carolina Caucus of Black School Board Members.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Chair, to our distinguished school board members, Dr. Green, we, the Harrison family, my sister Bertha and I will accept this and give it to her mom. But thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to the board minutes presented tonight, the January 2016, January 19th, 2016 minutes.
Madam Chair, make a motion we approve the board minutes from the January 19th, 2016 meeting.
Madam Chair, I second.
Thank you, Mr. Prick. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Hearing no discussion, we'll move forward. Those overnight field trip for Fairfield Central High School band to travel to the Ohio State University, June 8th through 10th. Those in favor signify by raising up the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ms. Hartman?
Yes, it is this night on fundraiser.
So yes?
Yes, it is from fundraisers, not registered.
Okay. We'll take that as yes. 7-0. Ms. Brown? And we'll move on to,
Madam Chair, I would like the record to reflect that Dr. Green did tell us that all district funds towards trips, all attendees would be treated the same, so I want to make sure that's on the record.
Mr. Robbins.
Good evening. In your board packets in Finance and Operations, you have the finance report for the month of January. I am working on projections, and I'll have that available next month in terms of the impact of where we think we'll stand with regards to the fund balance. So this is submitted for your information and review.
Madam Chair, quick question. Mr. Robinson, unrelated to what you've given us, I know SCANA came and brought the big check, and I understand you participated in that this year, is that correct?
No, I did not.
Okay, but we did have somebody from the school district?
I seen Swilly up there.
Was it Ms. Will? Okay. I checked and I heard that we had someone there. I just wanted to make sure we.
Call them all kind of names.
Somebody put their hands on it, right?
Good. Thank you.
Like I said, you pick.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am. That wasn't it.
did we get,
Yes,
did
it was.
Mr. Robinson give us a date when you think he can have the projections done
For the next board
for the
meeting.
next board meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other question?
Is this operations questions? Let her go ahead.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Ms. Hartman.
does it show on the record here as far as that the instructional services account is in negative balance now? Obviously negative 2,000.
That'll have to be checked. What line item is that? What's that number?
It's under, let's see, it's, well, it doesn't have a line item. It just says, it's the first one under the pre-purchase services. It says 311, and it says instructional services total.
Okay, we'll write that down and ask Ms. Robinson to check.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
since we're on operations, I know, is it possible we can get a response to where we are with the, last meeting we voted for the architect for Kellanilla and, what's the other school?
Fairfield Middle.
Yeah, the middle school. An update on where we are with that.
Madam Chair, members of the board, we have met with the architects. They have spent time evaluating the facilities. They're in the process of constructing designs, but they've not presented us with any designs as of yet.
So we hadn't spent any money yet.
I'm quite sure we've incurred some costs, I mean, for any time that they've spent in the process of designing, but we've not received, I don't think, any invoices as of yet. But surely we've incurred costs.
Only for designs that we have not received yet.
Pardon?
Only for the designs that we have not received yet.
As I said, I'm quite sure we will be billed for the time that they have spent in the process of developing the design, but we have not received the designs as of yet.
Okay, my question initially was, have we spent any money? Was my initial question. Not incurred costs, but have we spent any money?
Have we paid any invoices,
Yes.
is your question?
Yeah.
I don't think we received any invoices yet, no.
Thank you.
So Dr. Green, on that question I had last, that's on page 1 of 36 pages.
Okay, thanks. All right, we'll move on to human resources.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. For your approval this evening, we have certified resignations and terminations, where the superintendent recommends the board approve the resignations and terminations for professional staff, certified staff. That is indicated in Exhibit 1.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the superintendent resignation, termination of certified educator effective at the conclusion of the 2015-2016 school term. Providing a second.
Thank you, Ms. Miller.
I second.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. There's been a motion and a second. The superintendent's recommendation is that the board approve resignations, terminations for professional certified staff, and this will be at the conclusion of the 15-16 school year. Those in favor of that recommendation, please signify by raising of the right hand. We've got 6. Ms. Harvin?
I'm not going to vote since I didn't hear the discussion in executive session.
Okay. We'll move to 2.
Madam
That
Chair,
would be an abstention.
before you move to 2, I know on several occasions Ms. Hartman has asked for the reasons for the terminations that we've had over the course of the year for the district. And we have yet not gotten them. Can you reiterate what the reason is why we can't get the reasons for the terminations and resignations?
I think we talked about that those actually weren't available. They weren't necessarily items that were asked for, and there weren't all similar surveys filled out. And some folks just resigned by not turning their contract back in.
But
There's not a compilation of reasons.
But why would the
Surely
district?
some of them send them in, right?
Well, and then you're talking personnel. That would be a personal issue that someone might resign.
But that's
Might not
only
be
if
for
you
board
give the-
discussion.
That's only if you give the names, Madam Chair, but I'm sure that there's got to be some analysis done.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
In the past, I did see that the board used to get that before I was on the board.
Okay. Well, again, I'm not certain that's board material at this point, but we'll move forward.
Well, is it possible Dr. Green can give us the reason? Because if he have the data, which I'm sure he reviews it.
Madam Chair, if I could respond to that. And actually, Ms. McDaniel, I don't have the data. HR does conduct some exit interviews if individuals are interested in participating. But if someone elects to resign, not turn their contract in, or indicates that they plan to not return, they aren't obligated to give us any reasons. They can simply say that.
Okay, I didn't ask for obligation, I asked for the ones that are turned in, but if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that we do not, as a district, review the reasons for staff leaving to determine whether or not there are patterns of things that we need to address?
We aren't privy to why someone elects to not turn their contract in.
But for the ones who do turn the reasons in, am I hearing you correctly that we don't analyze that information to see whether or not there's something that we might need to look at?
If there's anything that appears to be alarming, we will, but generally speaking, no.
Thank you.
Move on to the recommendations.
Next, the superintendent recommends the board approve recommendations for professional certified staff. These are indicated in exhibits 2A, 2B, and 2C.
Madam Chair, I'd like to accept the superintendent recommendation, professional certified staff, 2A, 2B, and 2C. Providing a second.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
I second.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. Superintendent's recommendation is that the board approve the professional certified staff listed in exhibits 2A, 2B, and 2C. Those in favor signify by the raising of the right hand, please. Got 5. Ms. Hartman?
Is there any, one question I did have on that was, is there?
We don't entertain questions on personnel issues in public session.
No, I'm just asking.
We're not going to entertain the questions, okay?
But Madam Chair, if a question is not related to an employee,
We're in the middle of a
Are we
vote.
voting on all of them together? How are we doing that?
We're voting on all together, yes.
Well, now I'll vote again.
Okay, there's a negative. 6-1, thank you.
so Madam Chair, we was doing the question session, and you didn't allow her to ask the question. Is that what I'm hearing? I'm just asking a question.
We don't entertain questions on personnel issues.
But that's if you asking a question about a specific person, or if you're asking a question about privileged material. If you're asking a generic question like the one I asked, then you can ask that question in open session.
We wouldn't entertain that after we had a motion and.
But if she's asking a question,
Well,
period.
We have an inherent disagreement on that one.
No, it's a point of order, and the rules would not be in favor of your call on that.
Okay.
Madam Chair, as far as in this category, the terminations, those are for next year?
That's correct.
And why are we did last month also, why are we voting for something I'm not going to renew their contract? And
We're accepting their resignation. We're accepting the resignation, that's all. Okay, we're going to move on. Under the board chair report I have here, I think we also received this in email, St. Patrick's Day Parade sponsored by Believers and Achievers. Is there any interest in the board participating in that? It's on March 12th to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in Winsboro. You may dress in green. And if you have a horse, you need to make sure to have a manure catcher for it. So, yeah, I'm not planning on bringing my horse. There's no charge. Just out of curiosity, this was in an email from the Chamber of Commerce, I believe. Ms. Brown, would you scan this to everyone, perhaps? It would be a good way to get information out. And if you'd like to register, it's by March 10th.
So Madam Chair, your question, whether or not the board, as a board, would like to put a unit in the parade, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, just that it's out there. Is that something that the board would be interested in? It's kind of far in advance for me to commit, quite honestly, but.
But we probably, unless somebody else objects, I don't know if I'm going to be here or not either, but I think it would be good to at least, for whoever is here, if they're willing to represent, to have a unit in it.
And just to explain, because I work with Believers and Achievers, and I was at the meeting when they discussed that, and I asked them to forward that to us, so we would be aware of it. And so because it's difficult to get everybody together, we understand that, and it's, it's during a weekend, but just make sure that folks that wanted to be involved could be involved, and make sure that the school board was invited, so.
But normally what happens, if it's going to be the school board, then the administration would make sure that there's a vehicle or some mode of transportation, unless everybody's on the walk.
I will be glad to volunteer a vehicle if anybody wants to participate, because I think I will be there.
Dr. Green, Ms. Brown, do you know if we still have those magnets?
We do.
We do.
All right, so Mr. Brick, you will be at the Evans Street lineup.
I will even wash my truck for the parade.
Okay, at noon on March the 12th, okay? Ms. Brown, will you remind us of that? Noon on March the 12th, the lineup. What color is that truck, white? Or it will be by then?
It will be white.
Thank you for that information.
Thank you,
Maybe if you'll just submit that on behalf of the board, that'd be great. Upcoming conferences, that would be this week. I think most of us will head down tomorrow to get there for Thursday's meeting. We've got the National School Board Conference. I don't know who's attending that. The Advocacy Institute was postponed because of the snowstorm. Anyway, any discussion on that? Who's going where?
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
it's not on going where, but can you give the packet to Amy Daniel to bring, please?
Yes, ma'am. We got it. We got it.
Sure we got it.
Just give it to Annie, okay?
We got it.
Okay. Thank you.
The National School Board Conference in Boston. Anybody going there?
I said I was going, another thing.
The weather comes out. And then in June, I think there probably won't be the conflict that there was in January, that they had to change it from, in Washington though. So,
Madam Chair, do we need to turn those packets back in? I forgot to bring it, but we need to turn those packets back in from the initial ones that were distributed to us?
Probably, because the check will be, might not, yeah.
Okay.
All that, since it's probably, the dates will all be different and everything.
Okay.
So we'll head down tomorrow. Safe travels to everyone and look forward to seeing everybody in Hilton Head.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
another question was, I asked in December for a copy of Dr. Green's contract and amendment. Is there any reason that I have not received that, or the core board has received it?
No, hadn't really thought about it, Ms. Hartman. I'll make a note.
Okay, I want to put that on record that I requested that again.
Okay.
Thank you.
And down in side pockets, we'll leave the section B, the board policy amendments for further review. And
All right, I'm sorry, can we follow up on that? Are we
Yes.
looking at a date in the future when we might consider it, so I'll remember to look at it before?
I was thinking by April, we would have a work session. It may be in coordination with a budget work session at the same time, that we can talk about those, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of pages, so, all right.
Madam Chair?
I had a question, Madam Chair, before you resign. I mean, adjourn. I'm sorry, adjourn. Madam Chair, Mr. Dr. Green, when we gave the bonus, what employees did not receive the bonus?
All full-time employees receive the bonus.
So we had like part-time people who had been working for quite some time, or temporary people who had been working for some extended period of time, they didn't get it?
To my knowledge, I don't think so, Ms. McDaniel. I have to check to be sure, but it was approved for all full-time employees.
So no part-time coaches who are not full-time, none of those people got it?
A part-time coach who's not a full-time employee? You mean just like a supplemental person? No, no.
Was that our intent?
Full-time is what was in the recommendation.
Okay.
Mr. Miller, you were saying?
I was saying,
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Hartman?
As far as the travel for the employees, we'd asked before why that wasn't put out just like the board is. As far as where those can be seen or whatever.
It is, it's in the side pocket.
Okay, so the side pocket, can all the employees, the public see it?
Yes.
Okay, another question on that was, I see that Dr. Green is showing only $671. Why is that so much different than ours?
I don't know, I guess there's a difference in the number of days that he's gonna be there.
Showing 5 days and I think that's 2 days.
Okay, and so, Ms. Hartman, since I am presenting at the conference, the South Carolina School Board Association is covering part of my costs.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Well, I'm not quite understanding that, because I'm presenting too, they're not covering it in my costs.
You know?
So I need to address that. You know I will. Thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah, Mr.
Now-
Miller, what were you saying?
Now, at this time, I'd like to make a motion that this be adjourned to.
You can move that it need to be adjourned.
Well-
I second your motion.
March, what date?
Wrong motion.
Whatever.
Yes.
I second.
Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Ms. McDaniel, we met.
Seconded that one.
I love y'all.